Good morning, everybody. I am Rebel, and it is time for another episode of 4% Marketing Training. And today, I'm going to kick it off with a little talk about saturation. Now, later on, I'll get to the main topic, which is how to think like a leader, but just to understand this will work right in there. So I've been noticing some people talking about market saturation, and if we are competing against each other, how is it possible that we can dominate in our field? Well, I like to start this off by saying that that's actually looking at things as if there is a limited supply, and in this case it'd be a limited supply of people. It's a lot like oil used to be. Now, I'm 51 years old, so I remember some things from the 70s, and if you're not that old, just try to imagine where you couldn't just get all the gas you wanted. In the early 70s, there was an oil embargo by a little group of countries called OPEC from the Middle East, and they wanted to squeeze America and make us pay more for their oil and hurt our economy or whatever. And imagine, this is way before we decided to start bombing everybody over there and telling them there's no way that's ever going to happen again. So in this case, there were long lines for gasoline, and it was really ugly. I mean, it got very expensive. Way back then, gas was only like 75 cents a gallon, if you can imagine that. Well, the price went up and it never went back down. So in the early 80s, somebody invented this thing called throttle body fuel injection. Overnight, this expanded the amount of oil we had by about 150 years. I know it's hard to imagine, but that's what they say, something like that. Anyway, just take that as a ballpark figure. And as time went on, all the old carbureted cars went off the road. There's still some out there. But then, a few years after that, someone thought, well, gee, if we can inject the fuel directly into the throttle body, wouldn't it be better if we had the fuel injected directly into each cylinder? And that's what they did. Computer-controlled fuel injection system right into the cylinder. Again expanded our oil reserves by another 50 years or whatever. Then they invented composite materials, made cars lighter and stronger, and once again, the amount of oil that we have to burn keeps going up. And let's not even get into the fact that we can drill a few miles further, and fracking and all the other wonderful things we got now to get more and more and more oil. And we never ran out. Okay, then this is like marketing saturation also. That's just, except for fact, there's hundreds of millions of people that want a better life. Okay? And out of those hundreds of millions of people, what you've got to say is only a limited number want to be involved with internet marketing. Okay? That's true today. And yet, what are you forgetting? From time to time, people change their mind and say, maybe I'll take a look. From time to time, people that tried it once come back and try it again. There are more people being born every day, and unless you believe that somehow, at some point in time, it's going to occur that those people will no longer want to make a better life for themselves, then it's easy to accept that there's an unlimited supply of people interested in marketing online. Okay, now let's go to what we only have this one system. If we're all promoting the same page about the same system, how can we possibly compete against all these people? Well, I'll direct you to my former video about the book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, and there's a recording of The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale in the back office of 4%. I invite you to read the book and listen to that audio every single day, where you will find we don't have to compete, we create things. And since I'm on a roll here about books, there's a book called The 7 Lost Secrets of Success, I believe it is. It's by Joe Vitale. It's a book about this guy named Barton, and he's one of the phenomenal marketers of his time way back when. And he says, everything you bring to the world, everything you give to the world is going to come from your unique self. Okay? Keeping all that in mind, let me direct you back to one of my videos I did yesterday or the day before, where I was talking about when you're watching the system And Vic says that you should wrap the system around your product. And I said, yes, that's true. And you want to wrap yourself around the system. When you learn to wrap yourself around a system, any system, then you've got it made, because you put yourself in the front of it and then you use the funnels. Look at the people that are making all the money in the 4% Techademics, all the things that we are involved with. And look at their funnels. Look them up online. Go through their funnels. Look what they're doing, then do that. And a lot of times, you know what you're going to find out? A lot of times you're going to find that they're using the exact same funnel. Why? Have you watched him do these presentations on the big whiteboard? I don't know about you, but even if I thought I could do it that well, why not get it right from the guy who built the thing? Good stuff. You're not going to do any better than that. Trust me, you're not going to do any better. So you put yourself in front of it, wrap yourself around the system, introduce them to Vic. He'll give the presentation and you're on your way. And as I stated in my earlier videos, after that you have email, and that's where your personality talks directly to them. And that is how you're thinking like a leader. Okay? What are you going to deliver to the people who are listening to you? I do these videos every day. I write some stuff every day. I recently got involved in I found a group, no admin, and the group says, hey, you want to be the admin? I said, okay. So I went in there and I started cleaning it up, and I changed some things, and now people have to get approved by me to post on there. And so far, you know, I had one really, I had a hate mail, yay. Only one though, out of all these people for so long that have been backed up, they probably don't even remember that they came into that group. Why am I doing that? Well, if you've looked at some of these groups, people are posting these bargain basement advertisement scream sheet like Carnival Barker, here, buy this. And you probably know by now that's not a very effective way to sell anything. So I figure if I can make this group better and post stuff in there, it's going to introduce people to 4% and a better way of doing things. And to me, what do I get out of it? It makes me better. So if you're making a video every day and you're writing every day and you're promoting every day, the only thing it can do is make you better. Ancient history, if you guys have been around for a long time, there's a guy out there named Dagan Smith. This guy is absolutely freaking phenomenal. He's, if you don't understand like what it's like to make money online, if you're making 6 figures a year, you're a god in this industry. Period. You make $1 million, more than that. He's probably up there at about the 10+ million. I don't know, but he's that good. And way back when I first heard of him, and I know people that have risen to great heights from listening to him. And way back then, this is what he said. He said, you study things and you learn about them, and then you do them, and then you share your results with the people who listen to you. And as long as I've been around, and you ask anybody who's been around for any length of time, that formula is still arguably the most effective way to get traction and to get going. Because what do all these other people do? Look at the leaders in our group. What do? They are doing things, and then they show people what they did, and they share their results. They're still doing it. And like I said yesterday, if it's something that you're critical to do when you're starting out, then it's one of those things that you can never ever stop doing, because that's what makes the business work. And I was listening to one of our leaders, Justin, the other day. As a matter of fact, it was last night. And here's what he's talking about. Get the 30 leads a day. That's when the turnaround came. That's when things really started happening. So when you're looking at, oh, wow, I want to get, 10,000 leads a month and this and that. We're going to make 100K in 90 days. Let's just back off that for a second, okay? And let's concentrate on getting those 30 leads a day. You want to get your 2 sales a day. And when you're at that point, that's when things really are going to start moving. And it's a much smaller goal. Your brain will have a much easier time with 30 leads a day than it does with $100,000 in 90 days. Is it possible? Yes. Is it possible from when you're just starting out? I'd imagine. I mean, it's possible to get struck by lightning 2 seconds after you buy a winning lottery ticket, but the odds, you know, I wouldn't count on it. You with me? Objective. I'm going to introduce you to this objective. Maybe, I don't think I've ever brought this up in these trainings before. 1 year. 1 year. Study as much as possible. Put all the time you got into it. Focus like I've been telling you. Learn to think like a leader. Wrap yourself around the system. Continue to promote it to everybody who's interested. Objective of 1 year being self-sufficient in your internet marketing business. I think that's a solid goal. I think you can do it. I've seen it done before. And it's much more believable when you're writing out those affirmations. Rather than to say, I'm going to make $100,000 in 90 days. How about if you're just doing $35,000 a year in 1 year? So what is that? Let's call it $3,000 a month. If you can achieve $3,000 a month in a year or less, you will be one of the elite in internet marketing. And that's a fact. Look it up. Hardly anybody does. All right, that's how to think like a leader, folks. Forget about saturation. Forget about what everybody else is doing. Drive away from your mind this thought that there's a limited supply of anything. Learn new things. Find out how to do it yourself, and then share it with people. These are basic things. You can do them, and if you're thinking always about how can I show someone how to do what I struggled with, you're always going to come out on top. It's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to get a little bit more into some things, maybe technical. I don't know. It's like I talk about this stuff a lot because without this, you're really never going to reach the peak that you could. So tomorrow I'm going to talk more. I'll have something to go more on this free funnel that we've got. It's supposed to release tonight. I know y'all are waiting for that. I know I am. Except I don't wait. I've been building funnels and everything on the sly in the back end. And don't forget, everything that you have that you can offer someone about the things you know, those are things that you can offer as bonuses. Like, hey guys, you know, you come in and join my team. This is what else I'm going to do for you. Keep that in mind, because that's another way to think like a leader. Okay, folks, that's all I got for today. I hope you're having a fantastic time wherever you are. I am Rebel. This has been 4% Marketing Training, and I'm out.